Good afternoon, dear all participants. Today, on behalf of the Skill Council for Green Job, I welcome you all to this webinar on potential of solar energy for increasing the productivity and profitability in agriculture sector. As part of the Azadi Amrit Mahotsav, which is being celebrated on commemorating 75 years of India journey. To celebrate this, Skill Council for Green Job is organizing a series of webinars on the various topics related to renewable energy, waste to energy, sustainability, and other sector basically. So for this today, we have our distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Aniket Kalhapure. He's an assistant professor in Department of Agronomy, Banda University of Agriculture and Technology. He has been completed his PhD degree from the G.V. Pant University of Agriculture from Pantnagar, and he has been received his master degree from Maratha Agriculture University. He has been worked as a junior scientist for agronomy at Mahatma Phule Krishi Visvyadhyalaya in Maharashtra. From 2018, he has been working as assistant professor of agronomy in Banda University. Presently, he is engaged in the multiple research activity in agronomy sector, along with the teaching to the UG, PG, and PhD students. He has been expertise in sustainable agriculture, organic farming, integrated farming system. He has handled several research projects in the field of agronomic investigation. His ongoing research is focused on the development of sustainable integrated farming system, model for Bundelkhand region, and evaluation of natural and organic farming in dry land of Bundelkhand. I think which is very important subject today, and this is one of the area where the Bundelkhand need to be addressed through this all research activities. He has been rewarded with South Asia Foundation Fellowship also, which is one of the prestigious fellowship, and served as a junior scientist award by Society of Agriculture Professionals in Kanpur. He also rewarded as the Banda University from Agriculture and Agriculture Technology, Banda University. He has been published 20 plus research paper in national and international journals so far. So, and presently he's working on the practical convenience and economic feasibility of use of solar energy in agriculture sector through NABARD funded research project, which is one of the prestigious project, and it's a need of the hour to utilize solar energy in field of agriculture sector, which is a large our farmer dependent source of income basically. So I welcome you again, sir, and I also take opportunity to welcome our CEO, Dr. Praveen Saxena, sir, whose motivation allow us to conduct such a webinar regularly on this topic. So thank you so much, sir, and over to you, Dr. Aniket. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Firstly, good morning to all you, and I am very thankful to Mr. Prem Bharti ji for introducing myself, and all to your team for giving me an opportunity to explore the potential of solar energy in the field of agriculture production and research. So I'm just starting now, and I'm sharing my presentation here. So is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we are starting now. So before moving towards the potential of solar, actually this is in a PDF format. Before moving to the potential of solar energy in agriculture, we have to take the scenario or the glimpses of a present condition of agriculture, and I would like to introduce certain characteristics of Indian agricultural system. So total geographic area of India is 328 million hectares, out of which 142 million hectare is under cultivation, and from this 142 million hectares area, we are producing 297 million metric tons of food grain, and Food grain will constituted with all the cereals, pulses, oilseeds, and whatever the important food material. It is not included with the fruit, vegetables, and other allied produces from agriculture. So we know that presently our population is around 140 crores, and for this population, that is a sufficient food around 297, or we can say in superficially 300 million tons is sufficient. But if we are considering the projected data, then by the year 2050, our projected population will be about 1.7 billion, and to fulfill the food demand of all this huge population, we should produce about 335 million metric tons out of food production. I'm sharing this because of only I want to bring into your notice that what is the importance of agricultural production or agricultural sector, and it has to attention to improve this productivity with different tasks, different research, or different types of other solutions. Again, I am here sharing the status of agriculture in Indian GDP. So I have given last 3 years data here, and we are seeing here that from year 2018, the share of agricultural gross value added in India's total agronomy, it is of agriculture and allied sectors. It is continuously increasing. From 2018, it was 17.6%. Then in 2019, the share of agricultural and allied sector in Indian economy was 18.4%, and it is also increased up to 20.2% during last year. Now, if we are considering the Corona pandemic situation, which is happening for last 1 or 1.5 years, majority of our sectors, secondary sectors, has been collapsed, and their share in the Indian economy has been reduced, like industry sector, service sectors, and all other things. But it is a very highlightable issue that under that very extreme or pandemic situation of COVID-19, agricultural sector is growing, and it is adding more and more inputs to our Indian economy. That's why this sector is also having a major importance and attracting the intention of farmers, scientists, and policymakers for its development. Then again, we can see here that in today's era also, about 60% population is directly or indirectly engaged and earning his bread and butter from agriculture sectors. However, the condition of a farmer is very poor. We can see here that the average land holding per household, that means per farm family land holding in India is very reduced, and it is reaches or it remains up to only 1 hectare. It is the data of last years, and out of that, whatever the farming who are engaged in farming business or agriculture business, out of that farmers, about 85 farmers are comes under the category of small and marginal farmers. Now, the farmers who are holding the land between 1 hectare to 2 hectare, these farmers are categorized under the category of small farmers, and the farmers who are having land less than 1 hectare area, they are having categorized into marginal farmers category C. So we can conclude here that more than or about 85% Indian farmers are holding the land below 2 hectare average holdings. Okay, now again, here is the data regarding the per month family income of or of the farm family incomes per month. India's average farm family income is 10,128 rupees, and we are considering here that there are on an average 5 members in his family. So we are realizing here that what is the very problematic situation or socio-economic backlog in the status of these farmers. Now coming towards how this the condition of agricultural production, or how we can fulfill the projected food demands in our for our future generation, and how we can increase the socio-economic status or the life standard, or overall the livelihood security of our farmers. For that purpose, in today's speak, I will focus about the use of solar system or solar energy. Before that, we should take the review regarding the requirement of energy in agriculture sector. So it is calculated that, or it is analyzed that about 12 to 15% of total cost of cultivation for any crop production, 12 to 15% is invested on the energy cost. And this is only about the production of field crops. Whatever the expenditure of energy in other allied sectors like livestock, then processing, then harvesting, this is not considered here. So 10 to 15%, that is, which is a very considerable, a large amount we are presently investing for getting the energy. Now what are the components, or what are the operations for which we are requiring energy in agriculture? So our cycle of crop production is start right from tillage operation, different types of tillage operations like plowing, rotavator, cultivator, and some secondary tillage operations with we should perform in our field. And without performing that operation, it is not possible to prepare your seedbed and the sowing of a crop. So for this particular purpose, the energy in the form of diesel and all these things we are using, and presently the maximum mechanization has been happen in India, and all these practices are relying on the use of machineries like tractors and other power tillers, etc. So after a tillage, for sowing and other intercultivation operations, like weeding, hoeing, earthing up, many types of operations are also needed to perform in agriculture for our healthy crop growth. This is also the sources of consumption or the fate of energy. They are requiring energy. Then plant protection. That means different types of enemies are attacking on our crop, like weeds, diseases, pest, and we should control timely all these enemies. And for this purpose, spraying of different agrochemicals like insecticide, fungicides, herbicides. This is the major operation, and it also requires high volume of energy. Then irrigation is the major factor which requires energy, as 60% of our irrigation water is lifted from the groundwater sources. And that's why it is also estimated that about 60% of energy, more than 60% of energy which we are utilizing in agriculture, it is invested on only irrigation purpose. Then after the further stages of crop, evenly at harvesting, then for drying out food grains or drying of vegetables, fruits, for this purposes, then post-harvest operations like cleaning, grading, then transportation for field to storage facilities, then to market, to consumer. Transportation also requires energy, and along with this farm family also requires energy for its domestic use or its household needs, like lighting from lamps, refrigeration, other activities like milking, heating. That means majority of energy is required to perform such type of operations. Now presently our dependence is on indigenous sources of energy. In right side, I am giving that the major dependence for filling this energy requirement is upon fossil fuel in the form of diesel, petrol, kerosene, and for irrigation or a thresher and or thus operating a certain type of machineries like chap cutter and all other things, we are using electricity from from conventional sources. That conventional sources electricity may be from hydropower electric sources or from thermal energy sources, or it also from renewable energy sources. And present day we are experiencing the crisis in that the coal availability and the production of coal, as more than 60% electricity is generated through coal power. So we can experience the importance of that dependence upon the fossil fuel for fulfilling the energy demand in agriculture sector. Now in next slide, here I am giving the comparative evaluation or comparative analysis of utilization of or consumption of energy in agricultural sectors. In a second column, the consumption of energy in agriculture sector from year 1982 is given. This data is up to year 2015-16, and it is a source from a Central Electricity Authority. And here we can see that from last 20 or 25 years, our day by day or year by year total consumption is increasing, and evenly consumption in agricultural sector is also increasing. And but however, the share of consumption in agricultural sector out of that total energy consumption is around moving around 20%. As we can see that if we were taking in consideration the recent data, that is the data of 2015-16, so total energy consumption in our country was about 8,63,000 gigawatt hours, and out of this 1.73 lakh gigawatt hours has been utilized for agricultural sectors. That means it is almost 20% of energy. And this is not the scenario of our country. In other countries also, maybe developed countries, maybe developing countries, the same scenario we can say that the around 20 or more percent energy consumption in agricultural sector. Evenly in developed countries, they are using more and more energy, particularly in agricultural sectors, because their agriculture is developed as compared to agriculture in developing countries. So their report has been published in a journal, scientific journals, and they are claiming that if you can read here the sentence, it is saying that this sentence is saying that if we are able to convert around, or we are able to fulfill around 1% of total need of agricultural energy from solar panels, that means in the form of a solar energy, then the global electricity crisis will be immediately solved, and it is able to fulfill the energy demand in all over the world. This is this prediction or this projection is made on the basis of data collected from different countries in the world. That means our target should be only convert 1% of agricultural energy or its the dependence upon the solar energy rather than that energy given supplied from conventional sources. So it will be able to the energy crisis in our country. Now here very interesting illustration I am giving here. Actually below that table clearly I have given the note that these calculations are made on relative data and a review based hypothesis. This data is not based on the research or experimentation, but whatever the our past scenario and future projections, and on that basis I have made some hypotheses, and the interesting illustrations has been given here. That to calculate my intention to giving this illustration is I am realizing whether really this solar energy will be profitable in agriculture or not. For that purpose I am assuming here that as in a previous slide also I show that around 1,70,000 gigawatt hour energy is used in agriculture in 1 year, and that is ultimately is 1,70,000 million kilowatt hours. That means 1,70,000 million units per year. Now, if we are cross-checking this data, or we are correlating this data with total cultivable area of India, that is 142 million hectares, then we can calculate here that our per hectare energy utilization is around 1,197 kilowatt hours. That means that much amount of units, 1,197 units every year farmer is using in his field. These calculations are made on average basis. So in India, rates of electricity per units are more variable, but if we are considering average rate 7 rupees per unit, then we can get here that per year, per hectare, the cost on energy on farm is 8,379 rupees. When the supply of energy is fulfilled from conventional electric sources, then our per hectare per year across for agricultural operations or agricultural activity is 8,379 rupees. Now, to correlate this data with the energy cost, when it energy we are meeting from the solar energy sources, then in the next phase, next stage of this table, that illustrations has been made. Then one average 3 HP irrigation pump, which is sufficient to irrigate a 2 hectare area. 3 HP capacities irrigation pump is sufficient to 2 hectare area. Its installation and purchase cost is around 1,90,000 rupees. Okay, actually I am correlating this data with the cost of energy on irrigation sources. As I told that more than 60% of energy cost is belonging, or we are investing it on irrigation sources or lifting the irrigation, but along with this other sources of energy consumption are also there, but for our convenience I am calculating or I am considering only energy investment of energy irrigation sources. Okay, so the cost on establishment or installment of a 3 HP irrigation pump is 1,90,000, and if this pump is sufficient to irrigate a 2 hectare area, then the pump's cost for irrigating 1 hectare area will be 95,000 rupees. 95,000 rupees. And when we are bifurcating or distributing this cost within the working life of that solar pump, we know that all the companies has assuring about the workingness of that or efficiency of photovoltaic plates about 25 years, and all the other accessories like pump and other supporting assets and machineries, they are giving guarantee up to 5 to 10 years. That's why on an average basis we can say that the solar system has the working efficiency or working durability about 15 to 20 years. For our convenience, I am assuming here that our system will be work for future 15 years, and when the installation cost will be bifurcated or divided into future 15 years, then we get that per year cost on using solar energy in agricultural sector is about 6,333 rupees. When we are comparing this cost on solar energy with conventional sources, we can get here that there is ultimate saving of about 2,000 rupees per hectare in 1 year in our field when we are pulling this energy from solar sources or solar energy. Now, how we can use this solar energy, or in which sectors we can use solar energy, and this is I am saying that this is making the agriculture sector more productive, or it can be able to increase the production capacity or productivity of agriculture, along with the profitability, that means income generation from the different agricultural activities. So ultimately, it is illustrated in previous slide that there is a reduction in electricity cost. Then if we are doing all the applications, all the operations, or application of all the inputs on time in our field, then it is the concept of agriculture. It ultimately increases the crop production, and further it is responsible for the increase in income. So every crop has its certain stage or certain window for sowing or application of fertilizers, irrigating the crops. When we are having or application of plant protection measures, but we are realizing that if we are depending upon the conventional sources of electricity, and due to any region there are a cut-off or shortage of electricity, maybe due to the technical problems, or many times we are hearing that the burning of or the damage to transformers. That's why 15 days or up to evenly up to 1 month of duration, farmers are not getting electricity, and he cannot perform all the farm operations timely, and ultimately it is resulted into decrease the crop yield. So what happened with the on the base of or on the platform of solar energy production, we are having the assurance of availability of electricity on our field. Then it is providing our freedom to do every operation timely, like seeding or sowing, irrigation, fertilizer application, plant protection, and by their means performing all these operations timely, the agricultural production or crop production will be increased. Then I am saying that we are saving the cost on electricity. Next point, I am talking about the diversification of revenue. As we are realizing that we are saving the cost on electricity, then whatever the cost or whatever the money we are saving to invest on that conventional electricity, we can use this money to invest on other sources, like we can use certain types of inputs or a higher level of management practices, and we can use either we can do the addition of certain other enterprises in our agriculture, which will be the source of revenue generation, or we can improve the present ongoing operations or the strength of operations or the quality of operations, quality of inputs, and which can increase the productivity in agriculture, productivity in our crop production. And then nowadays everyone is talking about the cultivation of crops under protected cultivation. Now greenhouses, polyhouses, or cultivation in hydroponics, aeroponics, cultivation of crops in glass houses. These are the certain examples of cultivation of protected crops under protected cultivation or protected condition or protected environmental or controlled environmental condition, and it is highly depending upon the requirement of electricity. If there are frequent shortage, or we can see frequent cut off of powers or electricity, then we cannot go for that facilities or establishments of protected cultivation. And if solar energy is assuring us about the availability of energy in any time or for our sufficient duration of time during our crop growth season, then we can grow high value or cash crops like Shimla mirch, off-season cultivation of tomatoes, strawberry, all things. So we can grow high value crops in protected cultivations, and it will be ultimately increases the productivity and income of a farmer. And then in next point, I am talking about the marketing with a brand of sustainability. Nowadays, majority of consumers or eaters or who are taking the foods, the majority of consumers in present generation are well about the environmental or the safety of ecology or environmental problems they are happening in a present era, like climate change, global warming, etc. And they are focusing upon the issues of sustainability. And if we are taking or we are using this solar energy in our agricultural system, we are directly or indirectly recommending, or we are promoting the bringing the sustainability in agricultural production, and we can capture the market and mind of that consumers who are having a faith on the sustainable and the issues of environment degradation and such type of things. So we are able to harvest market and increase our selling or prices, and through this we can increase our income. So here again I am highlighting the point that potential for water use reduction, because of how we can reduce the water use in agriculture. So it is the direct effect of daytime operation. We know that many times we are our electricity boards are implementing the load shedding during daytime. And if a farmer are experiencing a daytime irrigation, daytime load shedding, he forced to operate his irrigation pumps or different irrigation operations during night time. And during night times, there is a possibility to showing the laziness from farmer. And I am talking about, if the electricity is present in daytime, then farmer will personally present in the field and more precisely do all the field operations with his personal monitoring and supervision. But what happens if energy is only available during night time? Then for taking a one simple example of irrigation, what farmers are doing in present condition, they are just installing the auto startup of their pump, electricity pump or water lifting pump, and whenever at a night hours electricity is again starting, that auto pumps, auto switch pumps are also initiating, and the uncontrolled type of irrigation water is provided in field, and that is ultimately the loss of irrigation water. But if solar energy assures about the presence of electricity during daytime, then a farmer can more precisely perform this all field operations, particularly irrigation operations, and under supervision he will be able to reduce the amount of irrigation, and we can in that manner we can save the irrigation water also. Then potential to increase the cropping intensity. If round the year or as per the requirement we are having availability of electricity through that solar energy, then we can grow more and more crops in the same field, or we can increase the frequency of crop cycles in 1 year on a particular field, and it is more conveniently known as a cropping intensity. And it is the thumb rule of agriculture. If we are increasing cropping system intensity and its management ability, then it is increasing it will be result in the increase of crop production and profitability. Then again I am highlighting on the advantages of solar. Majority of this has been already covered in a previous slide, but again I am highlighting. So solar energy is particularly boon for remote areas. In India, the area is also present in present days also where electricity is unavailable, or it is very hard to establish the electricity supply infrastructure, and that's why to that area really this electricity will be the boon. Then in present day by day we are experiencing the fuel crisis, the hike of fuel prices day by day, and if we are converting, that's why it is also increasing the cost of cultivation in agriculture, because agriculture tractor and all these operations, tillage, all these operations are rely or depend upon the supply of fossil fuel, and increasing prices of fossil fuel, it increasing the cost of cultivation, and which will be result in the decrease in income of a farmer. So if we are shifted our dependence upon solar energy, so there is a am I audible? There is a error.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible. Please.
Yes, sir. You are completely audible, sir.
Okay. So we are continuing. So next point is, next advantages is increased capacity. I already explained, and we are also having the scope for diversification of crops and cropping systems. So I am already talk about the high value addition of high value crops in our cropping system. So we are if we are having the independence upon the that shortage and crisis of the conventional sources of energy, then we can take the advantages of diversification or inclusion of different high value crops in our crop system. It will increase the productivity. Then efficient use of water combined with a drip or other irrigation efficient systems, irrigation technologies. Now, if we are talking about the present days or advanced technology, and we are using a solar and then that type of systems, and farmers are ready to invest on that aspect, then ultimately he is making his mind setup to again utilization of other advantages technologies like use of micro irrigation system in the form of drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, or application of irrigation water and fertilizers simultaneously. The system is known as fertigation, and use of that advanced system is it is increasing the utilization efficiency of all the resources like irrigation water and fertilizers. So this is again the advantages of solar energy. And then again, potential for establishment of solar energy related industries and startup. If farmers are ready to install that solar type of electricity system on their field, or the demand for that type of electricity is increased, then ultimately it is increasing the supply chain or production chain to establish that type of industries. Many type of startups will be initiated in our country for preparation of or for manufacturing of that different accessories, photovoltaic plates, and then solar pumps, and then other accessories, and through that manufacturing, our industry sectors will be made easy, and it will be provide the employment generation to different set, not only farming community but other supportive sectors also. And in this way we can provide the employment for our working hands. And then it is also the one way to provide the entry of a certain finance companies, because for investing that type of much more cost and all these things, the finance sectors have also the opportunity to make entry in that sectors, and through which that services also it will be, there will be the increase of employment in our country. So from this slides, I am showing what are the most potential fields, or what are the most potential components of agriculture where we can practically or conveniently use this solar electricity. As I told that more than 60% of irrigation is depending upon the groundwater sources like wells, tube wells, or farm ponds, and other surface sources like canal irrigations, etc. They are also using. Also lifting up that irrigation water from these sources. Presently, India requires to install 21 million electrical pumps and 9 million diesel pumps. So what will happen if that much large amount, huge amount of irrigation pumps will be replaced by that solar system? So it will be ultimately lower down the demand for our electricity, and we can made the possible viable solution to came out from this coal and all these crisis. And then the special features of that electricity that solar pumps are, they are very convenient to install and use. And then that is the there is no need to irrigate at night. In a previous slide I told that the how we are wasting the resources, particularly irrigation water at night hours. But if a solar system, solar electricity is assuring for the presence of electricity in daytime, then it will also responsible for lower down the risk or the threat or damages to life of farmers. Every day we are hearing, we are reading about that many farmers are bitten by snakes or other poisonous animals. Then the farmers are threatened by shock of electricity or attacked by different types of wild animals. So that things are happening. Farmer is always living under the risk of such a type of threats at particularly during night hours, and that type of threats and that type of risk ultimately decreased if we are installing that type of solar pumps. Then assurance of application of water at critical growth stages. This is a very important for raising any field crop, vegetable crop, or evenly fruit crop also to irrigate crop timely. If as I told that different types of power cutoff and electricity crisis may be happen in agriculture or in farming, and if we are not able to irrigate our crop at its critical growth stages, then it is resulted into the lowering down the agricultural production, and solar pump is assuring for that lacuna, that fulfilling that lacuna or solving this problem, and we can irrigate any time as per our convenience or as per the demand from crop. And then again the boon for remote area where electricity not present, farmers can install that solar pumps. And then a system can be, if this system can be blended with certain advanced technologies like drip method and related fertigation method through which fertilizers are applied through the that irrigation waters, soluble water soluble fertilizers we are applying through that fertigation system, then it is also resulted into the increase in productivity of a crop. So this is about the solar pump. Then in the next pump, farmers is also having the electricity requirement for his domestic purpose, so for running different appliances in his home, or for lightening the lamps and all other things. And if we are installing the off-grid solar system on that farmer's farm, it will also help to fulfill his domestic electricity demand along with the energy required from other allied agricultural activities like milking of animals and that type of things. So this is also a very viable, this will also prove the viable source of energy for domestic use of farm family also. Then this is again the most important factor, that means crop protection. And it is estimated that different if we are not controlling the damage of a crop or the enemies of a crop like different types of weeds, insect, pest, if we are not controlling, then our crop will be reduced its yield up to 45%, and our agriculture will never come into the profitable zone, and that's why the requirement of spraying of different agriculture chemicals, agrochemicals is very necessary. And that type of solar sprayers, they are providing the facility to spray anywhere, anytime, or as per the requirements. And many companies and many scientists, many research institutions are also focusing upon the invention of a more convenient or more practically feasible models of that solar sprayers. So right, along with that use of solar energy in crop production, after crop production or crop harvesting, there are certain demands in allied sectors also of energy, and this type of demand is for solar dryers, solar refrigerators, or cold storage. So that type of solar dryer is recommended in India, which provides the free electricity in a very low cost, and it also facilitates the removing the humidity and from its exhaust fan and chimneys. And also as this structures is overall covered from all sides, and then therefore there is all this our food material inside that solar dryers is protected from dust, insects, birds and animals, or there may be no contamination of such types of external particles, external material in our core material. This is another inside figure of that solar dryers. And solar dryers are having the capacity to increase the inside temperature with is about 70 degree centigrades also as per our requirement. We are also having the facility to manage or control the temperature. Different food materials, food products, agricultural products, we can dry inside that solar dryers. Now there are two types of solar dryers are currently present. First is active dryers and the second is passive dryers. So active dryers, they are requirement of photovoltaic plates. Firstly, solar energy is converted into electricity, and after that some types of heaters and related assemblies, appliances are run inside that dryers, and as energy is required for this in electricity form, they are known as active dryers. And sometimes another type is a passive dryer. We are just making that type of polythene based, high gauge of polythene based tunnels, and inside certain black material is inserted to convert the incoming heat. We know that the greenhouse, the principle of greenhouse effect is utilized here to raise the or to increase the inside temperature of that solar dryers. Incoming solar radiations are in the form of short waves. After they are reflecting from certain reflecting materials, or the black matter is used inside this because it is absorbing and again absorbing that short waves, and again it is emitting that solar radiation in the form of heat energy, and that heat energy, that means long wave radiations, and that emitted heat is responsible for the increase of heat inside the solar dryers. So very simple principle is utilized, and it can be locally installed with locally available material. That's why the cost, establishment cost and maintenance cost of that type of solar dryer is very lower. Then I am given here some certain prototypes of cold storage facilities. In that type of cold storage containers, majority of developing countries, they are already using that type of containers for cold storage facilities, and it is reducing the transportation cost, because if a farmers is continue his job or farming in at the very remote areas, and he's harvesting or he is cultivating a very delicate, or we can say non-perishable food materials like tomatoes, strawberries, etc., or potatoes also. So he have to transport that material towards at the certain types of locality where cold storage facilities has been established, and that increases the transportation cost. And during that transportation of fresh food materials, also the damage to food materials is happen there. So all these problems can be solved through use of that cold storage facility. We can install cold storage facility where the farming is doing his business, and when market demands are or the market prices are increased, we can remove our material from that cold storage and sell in a market. This is also helps to maintain the demand and supply balance in market, and also making the prices of agricultural commodities prices in market stable. Then again, right hand side, the prototype of solar winnower. Solar winnowers are using for cleaning or grading the grains, and that type of solar energy or that type of machineries can be used for cleaning and grading of grain with the help of solar. Then along with crop production, other different types of allied activities can also be performed with solar energy use. As here we can see that that total poultry farm is converted into solar energy solar energy plant, and there are along with free energy availability, many types of other benefits are there, such like it reduces the ceiling radiant heat, that because the whatever the solar radiant incident on that roof, it is absorbed by that photovoltaic plate, which is converted into solar electricity, and that's why inside the temperature of that poultry farms is maintained up to very feasible level, and that's why our poultry birds and all these things maybe very live in a very healthy condition. Then less ammonia formation is there, because if a direct heat is inciding on that shades of a poultry farm, then it is increasing the ammonia formation inside that houses, which will be responsible for the certain types of respiratory diseases in poultry chicks particularly, and maximum mortality many farmers are experiencing due to that ammonia formation, and this problem is completely removed with the use of solar energy. Then in poultry farming, different units such as poultry hatchery, poultry incubator, then poultry food processing, and poultry houses here picture is given. So this type of applications can be made in allied sectors also. And then majority of farm machineries also can be converted into solar electricity units, such as solar tractors. This is the prototype of hybrid tractors, which is functioning on both diesel and photovoltaic plates. In night hours, or when there is no availability of sufficient electricity or sufficient solar radiation, then that type of tractors will also work on the fuels. So that type of hybrid models of machineries are also recommended and used and invented in the field of agriculture. Then solar greenhouse heaters are also there. It is very important to manage the temperature condition inside the greenhouses, and the solar energy is the best viable solutions for this. Solar refrigerators are also there. Solar milking machines already some farmers are using. Then solar chapter, whatever the machineries we are using for agricultural purposes or allied activities on our farm, every machinery can be used with the help of that solar energy. So that's why in every field we can say that solar energy can be used. Now here I am talking about the sustainability, bringing the sustainability in agriculture with the use of a solar energy. And what is the sustainability? The simple meaning of sustainability is keeping all our resources safe. Whatever the resources, it may be land, it may be water, it may be air, and we are using these resources for producing our food material. No doubt we should go for producing our food material, but along with this we should take care about the non-deterioration or not damage to that resources which are using, or through which means we are fulfilling our food demands. So that is the simple meaning of sustainability. And solar energy, use of solar energy having the higher potential to bringing the sustainability in agriculture. For example, on a research based some data I have given here, that if we are using 1 HP of a solar pump, or 1 square millimeter of a photovoltaic panel, then ultimately we are reducing 1360 kilograms of carbon dioxide emission into atmosphere per year per square meter. That means if that incoming solar radiations on 1 square meter of that photovoltaic plate is converted into electricity, then it is reducing the carbon dioxide emission of 1360 kilograms per years. Likewise, when we are using 1 HP of solar irrigation pump with the help of photovoltaic system, then we are producing about the 1000 rupees electricity per year. So we can say this, that we are generating the electricity of 11,000 rupees per year, or we can saving the energy charges on that energy from conventional sources. So next example on a research database is given here, that if we are installing a solar dryer with a capacity of 100 kilograms, we can save or we can generate the revenue of 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per year, only with the installment of solar dryer with capacity of 100 kilograms. And again, that type of a solar dryers are responsible for reduction in 1,127 kilograms of carbon dioxide emission annually for this 100 kilograms of capacity solar dryer. Then along with this, we saw the prototypes of certain solar winnowers and cleaners. Then with the unit, this solar winnowers are able to clean or winnow the 35 to 40 kilograms of grain only within the 1 to 1.5 hours, and it is lowering down our dependence upon that electricity. And then now the boiled or cooked material, cooked feed material is nowadays recommended for milk animals, which is increasing the milk capacity by 20%. So if we are using that solar cooker, animal feed solar cooker, and if it is having 10 kilograms of cooking capacity per day 10 kilograms of cooking capacity, then it is resulted into increase in milk production by 20 kilometer of milk production. That means we are increasing our production also, and along with this we are avoiding the burning of 1,000 kilograms of wood annually. That means we are also caring the environment or caring the trees and forest with that mean. And again, it is also responsible for the reducing the carbon emission by 1,442 kilograms per year. And then again, the solar energy is assuring for the clean environment, and we are also conserving the forest here. So that way we can say that solar energy will be the sustainable source of energy in agriculture. Then what are the practical constraints which has been faced by farmers on a field? Now we are very clear about the benefits or importance of solar energy, but if we are seeing on a field, very minimum quantity or minimum number of farmers presently adopted this solar electricity system. So certain causes behind that are cloudy or rainy weather. That means all the time solar energy is not present. Actually, this is not a serious problem, because we know that on an average we are having about 2,600 hours of bright sunshine hours at every location in country on average basis. On average basis, India is having 2,600 active or bright solar radiations of the period, and there may be the problem during a rainy condition or cloudy weather conditions, but actually the dependence upon the electricity, particularly from irrigation or such type of other field operations, there the energy requirement is also lower down, because during the rainy season we are not irrigating the crops, and along with this that tillage operations and other operations are we are not preparing during rainy or cloudy weathers. That means already the energy requirement of agriculture sectors had been lowered down during cloud and rainy season. That's why I'm saying that this is not a very simple problem, that cloud or rainy weather. But this problem, the second problem is serious, that is low awareness among the farmers. Farmers evenly present also are not believing that that type of system is able to fulfill their domestic and all the agricultural electricity requirements, and there is a necessity to aware of farmers regarding the use and efficiency of solar energy. And nowadays from if we are seeing the data of last 10 years, there is considerably drop down in the prices of solar pump, but also I am saying that in a present day also the cost is relatively initial establishment cost is higher. Actually, in when we are considering a long duration in our mind, I have proved that the for long duration solar energy is cheaper, or it is more economic, but its initial cost is high, and we should make this a cost in one installment. That's why farmers are hesitating to install this type of system. Then finance is not accessible or affordable for all. So evenly, that lead manager of this district is my friend, and I was discussing the issue with him, and they clearly told me that there is no clear cut policy with banks or finance sector regarding that providing the loans or that type of financial support to farmers for that purpose. Maybe some states or maybe there some initiatives has been already taken by governments, but in present day also banks are hesitating to giving the loans for our financial support to establishment of that type of solar panels. Then insurance loans, the same related issue. Then there is again there is a lacunas or a lacks between the trustworthy worthiness between farmers, that means user, then service provider or manufacturer, and government. So there is no strong linkage or bounding between all these players of this game, and that's why we can say that there is lower adoption of solar energy system on farmers field. So to remove that lacunas and increasing the adoption of a solar system of farmers field, government of India and all the state governments has already taking some initiatives in the form of different scheme. When I am talking about the Uttar Pradesh government, Uttar Pradesh governments has already launched several schemes regarding providing the benefits of that solar system to farmers. The most important scheme is that solar pump scheme, and in that scheme, government of Uttar Pradesh is providing subsidy for all the types of pumps, 2 HP pumps, 3 HP pumps, and 5 HP pumps. For 2 and 3 HP pumps, 70% subsidy is provided by government, out of which 45% share is contributed by state government, and 25% is contributed by central government. And for 5 HP pumps, 40% subsidy is availed by government, out of which 20% contributed by state government and 20% by central government. Then remote village electrification program. This program is launched for fulfilling the requirement, domestic energy requirement of households in remote areas where electricity is not reached in present day also. Then this is a PM Kusum scheme. This scheme is launched by central government, and it is a very famous scheme. It is providing about 70% subsidy for the installation of different solar components for agriculture, especially for agriculture purposes. Along with that, other schemes are also running. I am just take a consideration here the schemes which are specially launched for agriculture sectors. Then here, as per that solar pump scheme, government of Uttar Pradesh has been highlighted the some cost parameters of for installation of that type of pumps. And here we can see that for installation of 2 HP solar pumps, it may become in the form of DC, or it may be AC supply, and the cost is around 1,25,000 rupees. Then for 3 HP pumps, the cost is around 1,90,000 rupees, and 3 HP submersible, it is that are around wondering about the 1.85 lakhs rupees. And for 5 HP pump set, the cost is around 2 lakh 5,000 rupees. Among that, majority of contribution has been taken, has been given by state governments and central governments, and with the using or with taking the benefits of that type of schemes, farmers can install that solar system in a very low cost on their field. So all about this regarding the use of solar energy for increasing the productivity and profitability in different components. We have analyzed the potential of use of solar energy in agricultural sector. So from this presentation, we can conclude that solar energy is a practically convenient and economically feasible source and can be used into each and every field of agriculture, right from crop production to livestock management, post-harvest technology, and further processing, transportation, and all these sectors also. And along with this, it is a environmentally safe source of energy, which can bring the sustainable development and livelihood security among the rural household. So thank you very much for your patience hearing. So if anyone have any doubt, you can ask here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Aniket. It was very indeed a nice presentation. You have enlightened us on the use of solar energy in agricultural field. I believe our student has been benefited out of this, and this is going to be help to our society to become more mature in terms of achieving the sustainable growth of the society. There is few question which participant would like to ask. So there is Mr. Abhishek is asking that if we install a solar system for running motors using VFD, so what after the irrigation, how we can optimize the energy because of for producing electricity required to connect inverter? I think is trying to ask you is, this solar pump, you have limitation that certain time you are not using water for in the field, pump field. So though the solar is available and power can be produced, so at that time how it can be utilized since energy is available to utilize. So how we can optimize?
Actually, okay, I'm just giving answer for it. Actually, I'm focusing upon the use of irrigation water during daytime, and it will be increasing the water use efficiency. But in certain circumstances, under any certain circumstances or critical condition, if farmers want to irrigate crops during night hour also, when solar radiation is not available, then they are also having the option to store that solar generated electricity into the batteries, and on that battery stored power, so we can operate our solar pumps during night hours. But practically it is certain uneconomical, because almost we are requirement of 10 kVs panel for operating a 5 HP pump, and for purchasing and maintaining that type of high voltage batteries, it is certain uneconomic to farmers. But there the options are already available. If we are investing more, we can store this generated electricity, and as per our convenient, we also can use during night hours.
Thank you, sir. I believe Mr. Abhishek question would be addressed. So fine. This was the very good indeed presentation, and I believe most of the participant has been happy to know the gain the knowledge in the field of agriculture, how we can use.
I have a little not a question exactly, but a suggestion from the Mr. Aniket. How do we sort of increase our skill development activities relating to solar pumps? Do you think there is a requirement of having skilled workforce, or the existing pump installers can manage with that?
Yes, surely, sir. in the perspective of farmers, we can say that farmer are believing with seeing. That means if they are seeing a certain practically established models, and they are experiencing that models or that systems for certain seasons or certain years, for 1 year, 2 year, and if they are seeing that whatever the farmers already using that solar energy, then they are trying to believe on that farmers. So this is one way to increase the adoption of farmers, the pilot, or we can select some farmers to establish or to install that type of electricity units on a demonstration basis as a pilot project. And for that purposes, it needs to provide policy support and funding supports. And another way is whatever our electricity departments, our every village, every town, every village has the some representatives from electricity energy. So if that representatives and or that skillful persons are communicating to more and more number of farmers at certain types of campaigns or melas or visits, if we are organizing our farmer field, I think the farmers will be more acquainted, more aware about that type of technologies, and ultimately they will got that the required amount or required skills in this field.
Yeah, I have one question.
It was, sorry,
Mr.
please go ahead,
Aniket?
Dr. Devisha. Yeah.
Can I come in, Dr. Saxena?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, have you, there are a lot of thefts of the solar panels in solar water pumps. Have you taken into account the insurance part also while calculating the cost?
No, madam. Insurance that calculate. I told that is not experimental. The review and hypothesis based that cost I have been calculated, but it is a very serious concern that this is a major problem to thieving that type of materials. So insurance in my one slide, I also highlighted that insurance facilities also needed, and for installation of these units or systems. So actually this
Dr. Aniket,
yes sir.
One more small thing. Will it be possible for you to work towards some entrepreneurship model around water pumping systems? I mean, it could be a food for thought that some young boys from the villages do look at solar pumping, typically solar pumping, water pumping, as an entrepreneurship activity for them.
Sure.
One, I'm not sort of expecting an answer from you. We can definitely work together. And second, is it possible to have a portable kind of a solar system installed on, like you have shown a tractor, a bigger trolley, where when the electricity is not available, the pumping activity can be initiated. So these are a few suggestions where I would request if you can work on it, and then we can be together to see how we can actually promote entrepreneurship around solar pumping application. Of course, if once they are into this, then they can always do many other solar applications as entrepreneurs. But I will be extremely happy to sort of give a small study or some activity to you or to your university where we can explore these kind of possible applications.
Yes. Actually, we are running here NABARD funded research project on integrated farming system, and intensively we kept the solar electricity unit in the form of solar irrigation pump, and the conversion of this our overall the farm in a domestic solar electricity supply. So 1.5 kV is off-grid system we are installing here, and already our solar pump irrigation pumps has been established on our farm ponds.
Actually, that would be good, and we will be in touch with you surely
yes,
to see how a better entrepreneurship model can be developed, and how can we facilitate a few entrepreneurs in the solar water pumping system. I would now request Prem and Arpit to conclude the session. Thank you so much once again from my side.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Aniket, once again for guiding us on this, one of the important topic which is going to benefit the farmers of our society. And in future, still, as sir has already requested you to explore some possibilities for us to engage in this field in future. So thank you so much for this, webinar for addressing all this topic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Aniket.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Have a nice day to all.
After mute.
Thank you.
And I would especially like to thank Mr. Vibhash Trivedi for making us contact with you so that we can explore new ways of studies and new ways of skill development together. So Mr. Aniket, as Dr. Saxena, CEO Skill Council for Green Jobs, mentioned that we will be in touch with you. And CEO sir, I will share your contact details, CEO sir, also, and add you in the WhatsApp group of World Skills. Thank you, Dr. Aniket.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, CEO sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.